Let me tell you something, all. As we're kicking off this week, as always, before the Bucks versus Chiefs game, I'm rocking this jersey today, but this joint is heavy. You know why? Because it carried the weight of the Patriots team this past week. That boy Drake May is like that. What you think, bro?
We came too far
Oh my God.
to give up who we are.
Got the Rodgers jersey
So
on.
let's raise the bar. Cause you know. I told y'all. Cause you know.
What you tell us?
I told y'all. Y'all thought that little 5-game skid was gonna have us looking a little crazy? Bring forth the AFC South. Bring forth the Texans. Bring forth the bad boys of Houston. And we'll show you what we do to them boys every time we play Houston. Smack! Like that Bow Wow thing when he was talking about Soulja Boy. Smack! Because that's what the Jets did to that Houston Texans defense in the second half. And you know, as my boy T. Adams said, Rome wasn't built in a day, but we looking real pretty right now in Italy. The Jets are back, baby.
You did ask? So soon? Bro, wait. I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going to point out something. It was earlier in the week last week where someone posted a bet that they were, of all futures going on. It was like the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, that happened last year. Celtics to win the championship, that happened. The Florida Panthers, and hockey to win. And the Jets to win the Super Bowl. And they're like, should I cash out? And I'm like, bro, you better get something. You better leave us something. Shout out Denzel. You better leave us something. What are the Jets back to, bro?
Or you could wait and enjoy your riches. Because the schedule is looking real pretty right now.
God.
And if you think about it, these games that we lost on this little 5-game little temper tantrum we had, they were all within a touchdown or less. So let me get back to we came too far
Yeah.
to give up who we are. You know what we about to do. It's not over with, baby. It's up all night to get lucky.
Yeah, to get lucky is right.
Lucky. You know what I mean.
Yeah, to get lucky is right. Hey, look. Shout out to the Jets. Frankly, after watching that game, I didn't leave thinking the Jets were that much better. I left thinking that the Texans needed some help. They needed some help, and the trade deadline ends on November 5th, Election Day. The trade deadline ends then. Along with that, y'all are probably in your fantasy leagues at this point and may need some help. We've got a chance to figure out what all these teams are doing. We got a chance to see a good sample size of each player. And it might be time to bust a move. And we want to point out some players for you that you need to be trading for right now to get your season over the hump. It's playoff push time, baby. Maul, kick it off. Who's one player you're trading for? And we're going to add a little something else. Give me a package of players that you might trade for if you had them for that player. Trade away if you had them for that player.
You know, I'm gonna make this interesting because it's a fantasy football podcast, and I'm gonna direct this toward a trade that is fantasy football-esque, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna start with the guy who, you know, not from the basis of wanting to trade him from his team now, but if you are a fantasy football GM and you need to get over the hump, and it is time to get better.
Mm-hmm.
We came too far.
Ain't no way, bruh.
To give up. Yes. You trade that man that was talking about Rome not being built in a day and he thinks it's already built right now. You go trade you somebody for Devontae Adams. And it ain't for the weak, so you can't get away with trading no bulls. Can't get away with trading that. We need, for Devontae Adams, we need a starting running back. We need a receiver that we could pose in the flex. We need some, if it ain't free agent dollars because we can't trade draft picks. We need something. I'm leaving here with something.
Oh my
You know what
God.
my boy Denzel said? We leaving here with something. Come on, T. Adams. You gonna trade you for Devontae Adams, and guess what? You got Aaron Rodgers' favorite target
Favorite.
back again.
Right.
Stretch maybe because he's playing the Z because Garrett Wilson is the fave. But
Yeah.
if we look at that last game, that last Thursday night, both of them shared targets, about 10 targets each. Both of them scored. Garrett Wilson is a different human being.
Yeah.
But Devontae Adams is back, baby. Go get you, Devontae.
Listen, I don't hate it. I don't hate it just because he's going to get peppered with targets. It's not because he's been playing that much better. Frankly, he's been playing about the same. He can run a route. I love Devontae. He can run a route. But we ain't going to forget what Maul was on last week. But anyways, a player that you need to move on and go ahead and get right now. And believe me, there was a lot of questions about this coming into the year. But right now, you need to do all that you can to get a hold of Najee Harris. Najee Harris has always been a workhorse back, gets the runs out of the mud. Like a lot of time, he's just a hard runner. But the issue was before in the season, he had Justin Fields. When you got down to the goal line, Justin Fields would pull it himself probably about 50-60% of the time, taking away Najee's touches. But that's a little different with Russell Wilson at the helm because not only is Najee getting touches in the red zone, but they're getting in the red zone a lot more often. I'm not saying Justin Fields bad, he's the future, but what Russell Wilson's able to do with this offense right now leaves you all the reason to get Najee Harris in the building. And what would I trade for Najee? I would probably do something where I have a running back that's not necessarily producing how you want, and you want an upgrade going forward for the rest of the season because Najee can produce the rest of the season. I'd probably say you could trade maybe Zach Moss if he's still playing. The injury that he has, we don't know necessarily the timeline, but you could trade a Zach Moss and maybe another receiver that hasn't been performing just to get a hold of Najee because you're going to want him for this playoff run.
I don't know about that team out way out in Pennsylvania, man. I don't really know about that team. I don't know about what they got. I'm not really a fan of the black and yellow. So
Yeah, we know.
Najee, Smajee, whatever. You
Yeah.
know, he might give you something because Russ is over there, and I don't remember their coach's name. I don't know what's going on over there. But if you want a contributing asset to your team, stay in PA. Stay in PA. But that player that I'm referring to rocks Kelly Green on a good day, and he is a wide receiver.
Price went up.
Price went up. And he might just be the legitimate number one wide receiver in that offense. And his number might not be double uno.
Oh, you bugging. You bugging. Talk to me about it.
His number might be number 6. And Devontae Smith is who I'm referring to. But here's why I feel like he is such a great trade asset right now. It is because, of course, he's rostered in about 90% of the teams right now. But it is because of the injury-plagued A.J. Brown this year.
I get you.
It is because of the fact that he is legitimately a number one receiver in the league. And it is because in that offense that's led by the tush push and Saquon doing what he does, Devontae Smith hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Devontae Smith, man. Go ahead and get you Devontae.
Shout out Devontae.
Actually,
hit me.
I was gonna tell you who you can give up for Devontae Smith right now. And right now, with there being some uncertainty tied to A.J. Brown, you can get away with a 1-for-1. You can get away with trading a starting running back for Devontae Smith. A legitimate starting running back, I would say. Those amongst the realms of maybe getting, in the rankings of that 5 to 15 range. Devontae, I think he's ranked like number 18 right now out of all receivers. But within that 5 to 15 range, hey, go ahead and throw go ahead and throw it might sound crazy, go ahead and throw a Brees Hall in the mix.
Woo-wee.
Go ahead and throw I don't want to say Jonathan Taylor, but there's so much to look at in terms of what Jonathan Taylor is going to do for the Colts with Anthony Richardson not there. Go ahead and throw you that running back in a PPR league to go get you a receiver who I'd consider the number one receiver in Philly right now, and who should be considered at least a top 10, top 15 receiver by the end of the week here.
Hey,
So,
man.
Devontae's the next one.
You dumb high on Devontae, but I respect it. The guy's got plenty of talent. Plenty of talent. But I got another receiver in mind on one of those teams you might have mentioned. And it is none other than the most talented receiver in Indianapolis. You guessed it, Josh Downs. Man, listen, it is time to get a hold of Josh Downs if you haven't already. It is crazy that he's not rostered on every single team, or every single league right now. Get a hold of Josh Downs while you still can, because Flacco was the quarterback for the rest of the year. His targets in the slot, Josh Downs, when Flacco's playing, averages close to 9 targets, and he cannot be guarded in a phone booth. Josh Downs is going to get open plenty. Josh Downs is going to get open. He's going to get the targets. He gets targets in the red zone. Joe Flacco loves him. Hell, if Anthony Richardson eventually gains that starting spot back, Anthony Richardson knows he's the most talented receiver. The unfortunate thing is a lot of you people must have drafted Michael Pittman pretty early, and he hasn't been doing what you need him to do. But you can get a hold of Josh Downs and save your season. And this might sound like a stretch, but someone that I'd be willing to do for Josh Downs in a 1-to-1. At this point, how long more are you going to wait on Marvin Harrison? Marvin Harrison is an extraordinarily talented player. Marvin Harrison is an extraordinarily talented receiver. But the volume just isn't there. The volume isn't there. And they're winning without him performing. So what reason do they have to start to flood him with targets? I think you got to get a hold of Josh Downs for Marvin while you still can, because the future looks way brighter for one rather than the other.
I like Josh Downs. I'm not going to lie to you. I love that, because Josh Downs is indeed, to me, playing like number one receiver in Indianapolis with a offense that's led by the pass now. Joe Flacco is going to bring a different dynamic of football, a different element of football to that team. Jonathan Taylor is who Jonathan Taylor is.
Yeah.
But, you have to run the ball to open the pass, and they're going to run the ball successfully. But Josh Downs, if we see Joe Flacco throwing 30 times a game like he has been, you might want to go ahead and grab Josh Downs. But I'm going to stick to the element of getting another receiver, because if you're in a PPR league, you know what time it is.
Yeah.
And this receiver might have just threw some bows this past game. And honestly, it's a fight to see if whether or not he's the number one guy in that offense, or Mr. Cooper Kupp is the number one guy in that offense. But with both of their injuries not being an issue any longer, Matt Stafford has to make a choice. And it is clear that choice has been right, left, Mr. Puka Nacua.
Big Pooks.
Big Poops. And for namesake, Cat's going to want to hold on to Cooper Kupp.
Right.
Go get you Puka Nacua. But the price ain't going to be slim. Price will not be slim. You might have to throw in a 1-2 punch to get you Puka Nacua.
Right.
You might have to throw in a running back off the flex. You might have to throw in another receiver. And right now, the talent at the receiver position is slim to none. You got guys like Chris Godwin who went down.
Yeah.
You got guys like T. Higgins who's off and on. You got guys like A.J. Brown who aren't giving you what you're expecting because they're plagued by injuries.
Right.
You got guys who, like Chris Olave, went down, and we don't know for how long.
Yeah.
If you need a receiver, don't shy away from pulling the trigger and get you a Puka Nacua right now.
I respect it because the thing is, if you reach this point in the season, I don't know what your record is, but you realize that you haven't eaten Puka Nakua's injury. He's now back. And yeah, he's been banged up, and yeah, we don't know if he's like gonna be completely healthy. There was issues with that, but he was out there playing, man. If he didn't punch a guy in the face, he would have been playing still. So it might be time to grab Puka while you still can, and you got to throw the bag at him if you could get a player of that caliber. But we like value here in Sandbox. We like value. And if you thought you was making it a full week without me shouting out one pat, you were wrong. You were wrong. Because listen up. We've come on here and we talked plenty. We've talked plenty about how this position is kind of a lost position in fantasy. But man, has Hunter Henry found a spot in fantasy. And I'll tell you why. It's not just because Hunter Henry just has become a better player. It's not because he's in a better position. It's because that boy Drake May is out there making plays, bro. That boy is making plays. Drake has been our entire offense, and it's because our receivers have been mid. I'm sorry. We got a lot of youths, and I'm really excited for the future, but they've been bad to start the year. Except for Hunter Henry, man. Hunter Henry has been lights out for Drake. If Drake is in a pickle, if he's in a pinch, he's looking for Hunter Henry because he knows Hunter is shorthanded. Hunter's going to get himself in spaces. Hunter's going to make plays. Hunter is going to make all the plays in the red zone. You got to see his targets in the red zone, especially from Drake. Drake is going to run a lot, but when he's not, he's looking for Hunter. And the best part is, because it's the Patriots and because people just think that they stink, you could get Hunter at pretty good value. You could probably trade... Honestly, this stinks because I got a lot of stock in him. But at this point, are you still hanging on to Kyle Pitts and hoping that he gets you 2 touchdowns every week? Or do you move on to Hunter, who you know you're going to get value from? I think you could do a 1-to-1 there. Or even you could do a lesser tight end, like maybe Tucker Kraft, who's kind of touchdown dependent. You could get a Hunter Henry for Tucker Kraft and really move on and get you some volume at the tight end position. Can't miss the opportunity, man. Drake is taking his team to the moon. And this is before the trade deadline. We might even get another piece in there to make Hunter even that much more open. Get Hunter Henry while you still can, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right.
I just woke up when that tape right there. Did you just say Hunter Henry? Was that what you said, Hunter Henry?
Don't you got him on your team?
I do got Hunter Henry.
Yeah, wake up.
I do got Hunter Henry on my team.
Right.
And I will not be trading Hunter Henry, so don't come ask. But
yeah,
man, that Patriots, just the storyline tied to the Patriots just gets me so tired. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's good. We got the same record, just about. Yeah. But listen, man, you know we want to provide y'all with locks every week too. And I got one lock, and this is before I even know the line on the lock. The Patriots will be playing the Chicago Bears next Sunday. I don't know what the line is, but I do know that this man got his Cam Newton cape on. Whatever Drake May's rushing yards line is, I would take the over on that. That boy even said it. After the concussion, after they asked about it, he said, look, I am not about to play scared. I am not about to play conservative. I'm going to play my game because that's what makes me who I am. And I'm like, you know what, Drake? I'm going to play my cards with my money because that's what makes me who I am, Drake. So give me Drake May's rushing line going next week, whatever the over is, I'm going to bet that it's probably going to be around 60, 70 yards at this point, and I'm still taking that because Drake is like that. Take that, lock it in, and make you some bread.
Was that
need you a 5-hour energy or something, my boy?
Yeah, I think I need another drink or something. Was that another Patriots take? I didn't hear that. I didn't know.
No. It couldn't be.
Oh, well, sorry about that. Here, I got a lock for you.
Okay.
Go Jets money line, but even better, I'm not going to be as biased. Go Jets money line because that's going to be a lock. But within that same game, the Jets are going to be playing the Arizona Cardinals. And unfortunately, the Jets have been plagued by not being able to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be playing against Sonic the Hedgehog this week. So I'd say, though the Jets are going to win that game, you also probably want to lock in Kyler Murray for 40 plus rushing yards.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Because the Jets have had a difficult time stopping the run. And from what we have seen, quarterbacks that can get out of the pocket, quarterbacks that can extend plays, quarterbacks that, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen, I don't think I've seen quarterbacks outside of Lamar Jackson and, Mike Vick who can move the way Kyler Murray can move in that position. So I would imagine that when I don't know what Sauce is going to do, but when DJ Reed locks up those receivers out there this weekend, Kyler Murray's going to take off. And if we can't contain him, I'm just imagining that he is going to be able to run effectively against our defense. Though I hate to say it, but we're going to come across with that victory either way. But lock in money line for the Jets and lock in Kyler Murray with 40-plus rushing yards. I said it.
Hey, man. We love an objective host. We love an objective host. We love objectivity because money don't care about feelings. So shouts out to y'all for tapping into another week, man. This has been a blast. I really hope that you guys are having success in your fantasy seasons. We're in the thick of it. I hope you've been able to make some dough throughout the year.
Yes, sir. Big shout out to you guys, man. And aren't you happy to see a smile on my face? We came too far.
Yeah, go ahead, Sammy. Go ahead. We are, right.
We're not giving up. You have seen our last loss of the season.
Oh my gosh.
Giving up. If you look across the AFC and you look at wild card bound teams, look at the record and see how far off we are. We came too far. One more time, baby, because the Jets ain't over with, man. And just like that, man, we appreciate you guys, man. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. We appreciate y'all for enjoying the show. And we love y'all, Sandbox. Another week, we out. Bow.